How do you look at the challenge of Amazon owning the last mile in the US versus FedEx and larger players versus Europe?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because it's difficult to call out. Today, Amazon still don't have the network to cover the full US anyway, and it will take a long while to have it. You have exactly this question about the density and the location where Amazon deploy. And my belief is the smart way would be to still keep both. And because if you consider the less dense area of a country, you're in the US, you're in Europe, is the same, or within country in Europe is the same. At one point, there is a density by which you have no benefit to go on your own, each people going on their own, and it's better than one is going and doing the job for all the people selling in this area. This one will have the best cost, basically. And every retailer would have to accept the cost of it, basically, and the cost of this delivery being higher than elsewhere. At the opposite as well, when you take the big cities, the very, very dense, there is a level by which that adding more parcel doesn't help anyway. There is a level of density which is pretty high, but you could add more. There is a time, even if the guy was delivering in his own area without even taking his car back or his truck back, he will still need the time to take the parcel, go to the door, ring the bell, and stuff like that. And at a level there, you could add more. The benefit is almost nothing. In that case, Amazon work with both, basically. Today, Amazon work with both, even in the area where they are. If for some reason they are beyond this density, they may give to another carrier because they don't want to set a new route in the same route, split the route in two. There is a scale effect. For example, if you have a good route, which you can deliver 200 parcels in the day, and you're there of 8 hours, which is a very, very good route, by the way, very dense. But if you are to 50, you're struggling because where goes the 50? Therefore, it's better to give the 50 to another carrier, which may help this density and doesn't impact yours because you're maxed out at 200. If you have 400, you will keep the two rows. And this, basically, if you want to be optimized all the time, you need to manage these two. And in that case, you will always need partner to do it. I believe for the Amazon business, the best way for carriers like UPS and FedEx is to work really in partnership with Amazon, understanding a little bit where they will need, and obviously adapt their rate to that, But Amazon will not do better. One of the points is, for example, in the low density, in my view, is there will be a rate which will be more expensive than the high density, and Amazon will have to accept to pay more those carriers to do it, which ultimately should have a better cost than Amazon would, because obviously Amazon plus all the other parcel will be always better than just Amazon alone to deliver there.
Mm. How do you see this relationship evolving then between the two? You mentioned how they should be working together, but obviously there's, the FedEx or the carriers might not be happy working with them. How do you see that evolving over the next, say, decade?
Yeah, I think it will that maybe one or two will drop, and of course you quote three in that case, but in the US there is also USPS, which is there, by the way, and I think it's a matter. Of course, there may not be enough room for everyone. That's a fact. Therefore, yes, one or two. I think FedEx gave up a bit already with Amazon in the US, and I believe there will be a room for one or two per country, which we work in partnership. And when I say in partnership, that doesn't mean agreeing or whatever. No, it's just making sure that giving a right number of parcel, where you don't sit. We did it in the UK back in 2015, 2016, when Amazon Logistics was already big in the UK. We're working very closely with DPD in the UK, for example. Now it's a matter of course, this business, as you bring the network, will not grow extensively. However, remember that Amazon is still doing 15 to 25%, depending on the region, growth. Therefore, every year Amazon add a fifth or a quarter of its business to its existing business, which is, by the way, generating more. Ultimately, every year you get a little bit more despite your share decrease for some of the business. Is the reason why that due to that, I don't think Amazon will do 100% of their own parcel because economically it will not work. Now, if nobody wants, if in a country every carrier decide not to work with Amazon for whatever reason and they can, yes, maybe Amazon will do it. And yeah, it won't be optimized for the 10 to 15% that they will never have the density, but they will do it themselves. And for the country where a carrier will be smart enough to say, okay, I know I'm not going to have the best parcel at the middle of the city, or very few I'm going to have it because I will, but I work in partnership. They give me forecasts pretty accurate and they guarantee me at least a certain level of business while they are planning. And I will work around that. I think people will still be able to grow their own business. Now, it will never be as good as it was many years ago, except one thing, that if you compare on a long range, I can tell you that Amazon Royal Mail is doing more parcel today with Amazon than they were doing in 2005. Which you're gonna tell me, yeah, it's 15 years ago. Yeah, of course, but and despite that, in 2005, Royal Mail was 90% of the Amazon business, and today they're maybe 20. You know, but that's not what matters. What matters is the total parcel they've been given, and I'm sure today they've been given more parcel than they were at that time. That's what some carriers should think about. Is maybe not, of course, they lost a lot of opportunity, but they're still growing their own business.